Welcome to the University of Michigan Dentistry Podcast Series, promoting oral health care worldwide.
Here we have 4 porcelain fused to gold restorations. We're going to use these restorations as a demonstration of bond strength, the bond of the porcelain to the metal. There are several ways of demonstrating the strength. The manufacturers use some of these demonstrations to test bond strength. The first one is we are going to heat this crown in a Bunsen flame and then quench it in a beaker of cold water. You should be able to take this crown out of an oven at 1800 degrees and drop it in a beaker of water, and the porcelain will crack and chip, but it should not separate from the metal. There should be some remnants of porcelain on the porcelain to metal interface. Now we'll heat this in the Bunsen flame here. This is a severe test for porcelain. The porcelain, being a glass, is going to chip, going to crack and pop. It's starting to get hot, starting to get red. I don't know if you can see it in the camera there. And now we're going to quench it in this beaker of water right now. Okay. Now we'll remove the crown and dry it off and take a look at it. These horizontal cracks might be a little more obvious. If I rotate this, there you can see my cracks a little bit. Let me place it back on the model, and I think maybe you might be able to see it in relationship to the other crowns. I'll set it down here. And if you can get a close-up of that, you can see the cracks very nicely. However, observe that the porcelain didn't come off of the metal, and the crown really is intact. This is a very severe torture, going from a Bunsen flame to a bowl of cold water, and yet this restoration essentially survived. This is a demonstration that we've made in the laboratory. We have a porcelain fused to gold cuspid, and into this crown we've duralaid a little nail, a plaster nail, and a little chain that was attached so that nobody would walk off with it. And this was left on the counter at the dental lab here at the dental school with the instructions for the students to try to pound this into the board. This particular board, you see all the nail holes, has 90 nail holes in it before the porcelain chipped on the incisal ledge. Well, this was repaired and then attached to a new board, and this particular board has now 73 nail holes, and the crown is not fractured yet. Let me demonstrate how this is done. We'll hold the crown and the nail over the board, and then we just drive it right into the board. And you see the crown survived and didn't fracture. This is number 74. In this demonstration, we are going to cut a groove or a notch right through to the metal itself, right through the porcelain. And when we have exposed the metal, we're going to take a screwdriver and twist the screwdriver, and the porcelain is going to crack, but it should not separate from the metal. We're down through to the opaque now, and I get it a little bit deeper here on the incisal. You should be able to see the metal. Now if you see the metal there? Okay, now I'm going to take the screwdriver. That one doesn't quite fit. Let me get a smaller one. And put the screwdriver right into the groove itself, and I'm going to twist. And I'm going to twist again. And twist, and you can see how much force I'm putting on this. I'm twisting, and you can see that even though I have popped this porcelain off, and I've torqued it and twisted it, that the porcelain has remained on the metal itself, indicating that the glass, of course, cannot take stress, but the bond itself, the interface, is very strong. In this demonstration, we are going to hit this particular crown with a hammer until the porcelain does fracture. This is a test that some manufacturers use to determine bonding strength. Starting to get some cracks. Now, if you'll notice, there are some cracks developed in this. Now I'm going to change the location of the hemostat and tap it from the front and see if we can get this to crack. There, we finally got it to crack. Now you can see the tremendous amount of force that it has taken to get this to pop. And you'll notice that the portion that did fracture now has not fractured cleanly off of the metal. There's not a shiny metal underneath, but there is an interface of glass remaining on this porcelain crown.
You've been listening to a presentation from the University of Michigan School of Dentistry, which is dedicated to supporting open learning and open educational resources. This recording is licensed under the Creative Commons. It may be reused and redistributed for nonprofit use. Please attribute materials to the University of Michigan School of Dentistry and redistribute under this same license. For more information on how this and other University of Michigan School of Dentistry recordings may be used, visit www.dent.umich.edu/license.